Hi, I'm Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with designer Cedric Chauboussi, designer of Discoveries and Lewis and Clark, published by Ludonaut, and Discoveries debuting at Gen Con 2015. Hope you can give an overview of the game and how to play. I know we're revisiting the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Exactly. It's
different.
Exactly. It's what we didn't do in the Lewis and Clark game previously. The only thematic fact that we didn't use was the discoveries they made during the expeditions. So this is a brand new game. It has you have some vibes of Lewis and Clark, but the game is very different, completely different. So the aim of the game, you are doing the expedition again, but this time you are a member of the expedition who is going to write a journal. So these are the historic members that has done that, like William Clark, Lewis, and then Patrick Gass, for example. So we're gonna cross the continent, and then in the end we'll have a look at who will have written the most complete journal during the expedition. Exactly. So what kind of discoveries you're gonna make? You have 3 ways of scoring points, because you're gonna place pages in your journal like this. Okay. You see, this is a page of your journal, and then this is the cover of your journal. You're gonna place it like this.
Okay.
Like this, actually, because we have 3 players. Okay, and then so you have three ways to score points. The first one, these are raw victory points, like this. This card, you're always gonna cross the cards from the bottom to the top. So this. You can take the route you want from this one. You can take this one, whatever you want.
Okay.
Like in Lewis and Clark, you have 2 types of terrains. You have rivers and mountains, so you can choose, etc. And as in Lewis and Clark, it's it's very hard to cross the mountains compared to the rivers. Okay.
Right.
So you cross from the bottom to the top, and you score 5 points. And each card, for example, you have all kinds of raw points like this, and then you have this is a way to score points, the most simple one, and then you've got another one, of course. This is a kind of cartography. You write about the land you crossed and so on. So this is cartographic discoveries, and these cards with a symbol like this, these are the species you discover during the trip. So you have 4 kinds of species. You have the birds, the fishes, and the vegetables, and the mammals as well. Okay. So the aim of this is to gather sets of different species. Okay, and you're gonna score the points that are written here. So if you have only one card in your set, you will score 3 points. If you have all the four different species, you score 24 points. Okay? And you count all the sets. If you have multiple sets, for example, if you have this, you will score 24 plus 3, 27. Okay, and then you add the rest.
Okay.
And that's it. And you can see on the illustration that this is Lewis's woodpecker, for example. All the species that were discovered. For the gameplay, you just take into consideration the symbols here. But if you want to know more about the story, you have all the beautiful illustration of the art of Vincent Dutre that you can see here. Okay. And then the last way to score points, it's majority. Because we are 3 players, it's on this side. You have a majority system. You can see you have some tipis. It's the tribes you encounter. You just describe them in your journal as they did at the time. And so the player with the most tipis will score 12 points, the second 6 points, and the last one nothing.
Okay.
So you have some tipis on the discovery cards like this, but you will see that it's a 55 cards deck. They are all reversible, and on the other side you have tribe cards, and you will find other tipis on your tribe cards. It's a bit like in the Lewis and Clark game. You will meet some Native Americans who will help you to move faster and so on.
Right.
So you will have your tribe cards like this with the illustrations as well as the tribe, as respectful as it can be with the names, and also the tipis for scoring. It goes from 1 to 3. This one has 2, for example, and so if you have this, you will score. You will check the number of tipis and compare it to the other players and give the additional points at the end. Okay?
Right.
So,
okay.
at the end of the game, you sum up all this, and the person with the most points wins the game. Okay.
Okay. And how do we actually acquire the cards?
That's it. I'm
we
going
doing
to explain
here?
now.
All
Okay.
right.
So now, how does it work? You have the your. It's a game with dice. So you have each die represents a member of the expedition. Okay.
Okay.
You have three kinds of dice. You have your dice of your color. You can see on your tableau here. I am the white guy with it's white here. So I've got 5 members of the expedition that are faithful to me. Okay. They work with me, and they work also with the other people, but not too much. And okay.
But you're the boss.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
They are my guys, and you have yours, and you have some neutral dice here. You have 2 plus 2 per players in the game. So it's a 2 to 4 players. We removed a tableau for 1 player here, and 2 is dice, and two neutral dice. Okay. Just to explain the setup. So how does it work? Each die, so they are of different colors, but they have all the same faces that represent what they can do. Okay. You have 2 faces with steps, so they are walking. Very easy. You have 1 horseshoe, which means I'm riding. Okay. You have 1 Indian head, which means you're gonna negotiate and talk with the Indians. And then the last 2 steps, two faces are the A, which means you're going to write in your journal, which is the aim of the game. Okay, we'll spend some time to write in your journal. Okay, so how does it work? So you're going to have your dice like this, and on your personal tableau you have the starting actions. Okay, you have.
I'm going to use mine.
Okay. So, and you're going to play with other players' dice. So, what? It's just for the example. What are you going to be able to do on your turn? You have 2 kinds of actions. You have the actions to move forward on the land, to progress, which are at the bottom, and there are actions that will be done in 2 turns. Okay, you will spend 1 turn placing dice, and the other turn writing in your journal. So how does it? And these actions are special actions that are going to be activated only in one turn. Okay, I'm going to explain now how it works. On your turn, you will select a kind of dice with the same face like this, and then you can use from 1 to all of them. So you can choose, in your case, either this, or this. So what can you do? I'm going to explain the bottom actions. For example, you're going to choose the horseshoe on your turn, and you will simply place the die at its place here. So the action is loaded here, and then it's next player's turn, and so on. So it's going to come back to you. The aim of the game being to cross the land, because you're going to have your objective here placed on this part of your tableau, which is going to be your objective for until the next one. So on your turn, you're going to place the horseshoe like this. The turn comes back, and then so this is triggered in 2 turns. On the second turn, you're going to write in your journal, because it's thematic. You first ride to discover the land, and secondly you write in your journal. So what happens when you write in your journal? So you write, you get 2 moves in the water. So 1, 2. You have to. If it was like this, you're not able to complete the card. So you don't do it. You don't write in your journal when you don't cross the card completely. Okay. So this one is okay with only this action. So you're gonna cross the land like this. So you take your card, you put it in your journal, cover it. You can have a look at it when you want, but you hide it from the other players. So you do it like this, and then you choose. You have during the setup, you will have a choice between 3 cards here. So you choose among the according to what you think and what you want to do next. You choose a new objective here that you're going to place here. It's never empty here. It's what it means. It's never empty. And then ultimately, you take back the dice you used. You re-roll them and place them here for your next turn. Okay. So these are the movement action, and then there is some special things here, which mean this one, for example, to be able to move 3 spaces
More
on the river.
farther across the cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
If you had this one, for example.
So what about the other cards?
I will
What do we
explain.
need to
I will
do?
explain. This you have to understand something before. So that this, for example, means you have you see there's another square behind with an arrow.
Right.
It means you need 2 dice. So you're going to place one to load your action, and the other one will be discarded on the board.
Okay.
This means I discard one on the board, always the same. So it goes on the board here. I don't know if the board is composed of 2 zones here, each side of the river, and you discard the die on the right place. Okay, this is for the
Yes.
steps and so on. Okay, and once it's loaded, you go and then you cross your card. And in this case, you're gonna
Play 1 here, play 2 on the board.
exactly. So you
here.
keep 1 and you place 2 here, and then you activate the mountain. That's
Okay.
it. The other actions here. What I did not explain as well, there's a rule that makes a little bit of some interest at that time is when you are able, of course, you're going to be able to cross much more difficult card like this by playing all your A's at the same time and by crossing multiple,
Right.
activating
In order to
multiple
finish the
actions.
cards.
And then you can go, if you want, if you're able to, in the right order from the bottom to the top. If you can do it, it's very good to cross two cards at a time, which means your objective first and then another one out of these 3 here.
Okay.
So if you're able to do that, you take the 2 cards, you get another one, you rethrow your dice, same thing. But in the end, because you've crossed 2 cards, you play again.
Okay.
You play a new turn. You can play some other dice or
Okay.
play a new turn. Okay.
We have this
The-
where we can, I guess, swap a card.
exactly,
that's in here.
exactly. You get it. You got it. You
Okay.
and these actions are immediate, and you see all the dice are lost. Okay.
Yes.
This is whatever dice you want, which means you could for example place a die here, and then place another step because in this turn you are playing the step. You play the step here, okay, and you change the card. You swap the card from here to here.
Okay.
This is this action here. There's another one very interesting as well, which means let's imagine I'm playing the steps here. So I play the step, and then I play another step here because it's also a wild area here. I can move 2 dice, up to 2 dice, 1 or 2, on faces I want for the next turn. For example,
Okay.
I'm going to do this and this, but in the end they have to be on the same
then this
face.
goes
Okay,
away.
exactly. So and then next turn I'm going to be able to use them. Okay.
Okay.
This and this, and these 2 are exactly
calling on the help of
exactly.
Native Americans for the
You have
special
it.
actions
exactly.
they have here.
So you have 2 kinds of Native Americans. You have the friendly ones and the unfriendly ones. The
Okay.
friendly ones need only 1 die. It goes away on this side, and then you get a card of a friendly Native American. This
Right.
one with the white little circle here. So you take it on your side, and you get an extra die coming from the neutral pool. Okay, because you get influence, you get more help from the Indians, and some members of the expedition join. And you throw it in this game. You never touch this or rethrow the dice that are in this area here.
Right.
You just rethrow them when you get the dice. Rethrow them, you reroll them, and then you place them here, and then you don't reroll them anymore. Okay.
Yep.
And in this case, you need 2 heads, like this.
And those go away. And this gets refilled all the time as you're
Exactly.
as you're
At the
playing.
end of the turn, you are
Now, a big part of it, of course, is your dice are going away constantly.
Exactly.
So, how do you reclaim them?
yeah. You could explain it in. Okay. Now, exactly. That's what I was about to say. You saw that during these actions here, you lose your dice on the board, and you're gonna. Instead of playing the dice of one type of face, you can recover dice.
Okay.
The dice. You can do it in 3 ways. You can either take all the dice on one side, and as I told you, you re-roll them and place them here. So that makes that you're going to use the dice from the other players,
Okay.
or
the
the
dice
dice
from
on the other side. And ultimately, if you want, you'll be able to recall all the dice of your color.
Okay.
So it means, for example, if there was the player here had one red die here,
gonna
so
be
you're going
pulling
to
back
get this,
all
and
my
then
red
you
dice
reroll
from
them.
there.
And so when you use the dice of the other players, you have to be using them very quickly, and it's the interest and for me the core mechanic of the game is this dice flow, and you'll see that stealing the dice from the other players, and it happens all the time. It's not very harmful, and it's all the salt and the interest of the game. The spice of the
You try to use them as
spice of
quickly
it.
as you can
Exactly.
while doing everything else.
And you
at the
have
same time.
multiple effects here. You have effects with moving and some special effects
Right.
and then it
Which is going to vary a lot just because you're.
exactly the
depends on how they come up here in the game.
replayability is very high because the cards can come out in on a different phase and the game ends when you finish the deck, knowing that you something important at the beginning of the game you remove 5 cards plus 10 per missing player. Okay, if we play with 3, I would have taken out 10 more. But just to explain, if we were playing with 4 players, I take out 5 cards, and then you see on the symbols here on the scoring system, you can see the frequency of the how many fishes are in the 55 cards deck. There are only 4 of them, only 5 birds. 6 mammals and 7 vegetables, so you have to see where they are, etc. Knowing that they can,
that they may be hidden on the other side as well.
Exactly. They can come out like this and they disappear, and so you have to be very cautious with this.
Okay.
You can score a lot of points, but you have to. Okay, so here he is. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much for the overview.
You're welcome.